as high as those numbers. All right, we live. Yeah. All right.
There he is.
There we are. We are live. This is me and D. We're doing this together. It's a 30-minute pop because my work schedule, bro, has went absolutely nuts. 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. This week is gonna be 8 days in a row. So I am on day 4 of 8. And it's
Hey,
Thursday.
bro.
So
I own a preschool kid.
yes. So well, I'm preaching to the choir then.
Yeah.
All right. So this is perfect. This is a perfect title for this podcast, Survival of the Fittest. That's what this is right now.
Yeah.
This is straight up survival. But man, listen, before we get into that, James Harden, again, that's why I said survival of the fittest. James Harden goes down. We got Embiid playing on one leg, still dropped 30 today, I see.
Yeah.
AD, really, his injury just doomed the Lakers. So it's survival of the fittest, man. That's what it's going to come down to.
I try to tell y'all, them soft tissue injuries. I told all the Laker people last year, they didn't believe me. They caught a break last year.
They did.
They got right to the part of the season where AD started breaking down, and then COVID shot everybody down for 5 months. So they had a chance to get a healthy AD with like 2 weeks to go right into the playoffs. So he went right in.
Is it
see it happening?
Let me ask. Hey, is it an asterisk then? Since the season got shut down and they gave him and LeBron to get a lot of rest to make that bubble run.
No, I wouldn't consider it an asterisk because everybody else played up under the same condition. I mean, you know what I mean? Like nobody had an advantage over anybody else. Everybody was in the same situation. When I say that, I mean based on his actual history, I ain't talking about LeBron, but even you can look at LeBron. LeBron has had a major injury the last 3 years. The first 14, 15 years of his career, he had literally no injuries. He could fall off a bus and get back up 4 minutes later and be ready to go. But he's had major injuries where he's missed extended time the last 3 years. And people that are LeBron fans or Laker fans don't want to have that conversation. But AD, this is a normal thing. Like, it's normal for him to be in street clothes. Charles Barkley calls him street clothes for a reason. You know what I mean? Like, it's a normal thing.
That was cold for Charles to call that, man.
Hey, listen, it was cold, but
it was funny.
It was true.
Right.
It was true. He spends a lot of time in street clothes, and it was really sad that the Lakers even let that dude get out there. Like, no, listen, son, nah, this ain't finna happen. You look like my granddaddy.
These guys would be like, man, I'm not listening to the medical staff no more.
I agree, but you know what I mean? These guys, they feel like they superhuman, man, but you're not. LeBron didn't even look like LeBron. LeBron looked like old man LeBron. Like he didn't look good. Like he walked on defense more in that last game than I had seen in a long time. Like he wasn't even trying to play defense. Like
all the time.
All right, dog. I'm tired. I ain't never seen LeBron huff like that, and that's because they're not in shape because they ain't been playing. Same problem with James Harden. They're not in shape because they haven't been playing.
That was what, a couple of minutes into the game?
No, a couple of seconds into the game. It wasn't even 2 minutes in. First drive, he out of there. And from the way it looked and what they did, because usually, they keep them guys in the arena and they check them out. They took him straight to the hospital. So that's not good. That ain't ever a good thing.
Yeah, he knew. He walked straight off the court. It was like he just knew. He was like, "Nah, I ain't coming back from this."
Yeah.
Straight.
You know what I mean?
So here's the intriguing thing. I saw this on Twitter. So the LA and the two largest media markets are in play, but it's not the signature franchises. It's not the Knicks and the Lakers. It's the Nets and the Clippers that are representing LA. So is it possible? Is it even possible that the Clippers can beat the Jazz with just Kawhi? Because we don't know what you're going to get from Paul George, although he's been okay. And he was okay today, but they got a lot of help from Marcus Morris, senior.
Nah. The reason why I don't think so is playing Dallas is going to be so different than playing Utah because with Utah, the ball hop.
I mean, it moves.
It's humming. You know what I mean? Like, who's going to have the ball when you playing against Dallas. Luka going to have the ball. So, like today, he had 19 points in the first quarter. And I was watching the game. I was outside working on bricks, but I was watching the game. I was like, he playing right into their hand.
Yeah.
Because if I'm them, I'm going to let you eat, and everybody else just going to starve to death. That's what you do.
Porzingis was not only was he starving in his stature because he's not as big as me, but he was starving. He couldn't make nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Because you out of rhythm. He took so many shots in the first part of the game. Nobody else was in rhythm. So when you need them to come up big for you, they not. That's like that. You know how I feel about playing a superstar by himself. That's what I do. I'm gonna just let you eat.
Yeah.
You get fat, get nice and fat, because the rest of your team gonna starve to death.
Well, that what Kawhi gonna have to do. Kawhi's gonna have to average 40 in the wins to beat Utah.
This is the thing. When they play in Utah, like the last couple of games, the last 2 games, he took the challenge of trying to find where Luka was. You're not gonna be able to find out where nobody at when you play Utah. Everybody's all over the place. You know what I mean? Donovan Mitchell kill you from everywhere. Jordan Clarkson hit you from everywhere. Mike Conley Jr. is everywhere. What's his name? Bogdanovich or whatever his name. They everywhere. Like they're never. I saw Royce O'Neal in their last game hit like 3 threes from the top of the key. Bam, bam, bam. And the next time I saw him, he was in one corner, then he was in the other corner. It's like playing the old Spurs without Tim Duncan. Like you don't know where the ball gonna be. So it takes away from what they do. Plus with them, like Rondo's decent defensively. I'm not gonna call him a scrub defensively. He's decent defensively. Paul George is okay. He ain't Paul George, Pacer Paul George. Like he's not that dude no more. The Morris kid, like you know, what I mean, all he want to do is start fights on the court. He got aggression issues or something. But you know, what I mean, like they have no answer for Gobert. Period. As the role man,
what they did to Dallas, they're just gonna play that small lineup and make Gobert come away from that room.
I don't think it's gonna work though.
Oh, I don't think so either. But I think
it's not gonna work because like Dallas don't have that kind of big guy. Like they got Dwight Powell and Willie Cauley-Stein, and Cauley-Stein only play when they want him to. So you know what I mean. Gobert is like an integral part of what Utah does to you on offense because that roll down the middle will just destroy you if you don't cover it. So it's gonna cause such a problem for them on defense. On offense, it ain't really gonna be that much of a benefit to them. Plus, he actually got decent feet. Like he ain't horrible. You know what I mean? And when you that long, if a dude beats you around the corner, you can reach around and still, you know what I mean, screw up some of his shots. So you're not gonna get like a huge advantage playing against him. But like they don't have any weak spots. They are really a complete team. So I see that series maybe going 5. Unless Kawhi have like some gonzo games, it's not going to have
to. He just going to have to. But I can tell you this much. I know some people in the NBA executive office is praying for a no Utah Atlanta finals.
I know, right? That's got to be the worst. That's got to be the worst idea ever.
Oh, when LeBron went out, there was a collective like all S.
Oh, I know. Because what do we have to look for? I was actually kind of excited. I ain't gonna tell you no lie.
That's because you're a basketball fan, but to get that casual fan, that's what they're trying. That's what you want to attract for the NBA and Major League Baseball. You got to have the major markets playing, and this is no shot against Atlanta. You got a nice team, but you don't want to follow that
finals.
Team. Yeah,
you don't want to go to the A for the final. They keep killing people over there.
Yeah. The people in Atlanta don't even follow that team. I'm talking about, they got their following, but I mean, now that they're good, oh yeah, they're getting a lot of love. But man, the NBA really wants Philly to win this series. They really want Philly to win this series. But bro, can you ask me why is Danny? I didn't watch this game. I didn't watch that. I just saw the highlights. Why is Danny Green guarding Trae Young when Ben Simmons has proven he can guard little guards?
Well, this was the thing. I watched some of the game. I didn't watch all of it. This is the thing. I think what Doc was thinking was, I'm gonna make Trae Young match up with Danny Green. I'm gonna make him chase him off screens. But really, I'm with you. I put Ben on him. And you know what I mean, Ben, you got one job. Just keep him out of the paint. If he hit 40 from out there, he's just gonna have to get 40. But he was causing havoc. Yeah. And that dude, what's it, a Thibault?
Yeah.
Thibault actually did a decent job. The only thing, Thibault's only problem was he kept letting Trae Young get by him. You got to keep him in front of you. You have to. If you listen, you gotta give up something. You can't give up the drive because the drive creates, like, I like the play that they run. They run that dive, and it's like a diagonal cross pass that goes from the corner to the other top of the side and then back to one corner. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool to watch. But all that starts because you kept letting Trae Young get into the lane. You got to make him shoot over you, bro. You 6'8". Make him shoot over you. If you make him shoot over you, nobody else on their team creates shots except Lou Will, and they don't play together.
But Lou Will don't create shots, but his own. But
right. That's what I'm saying.
I would live under that screen if he's out there at 30 feet. Make him
make it. You got to make him make it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To me, that was bad defense trying to crowd him. Like, that's like trying to crowd Kyrie. You can't crowd Kyrie.
Oh.
You just got to make Kyrie shoot over you. If he hit 45 points over the top of you, that means he ain't making assists to nobody else. He ain't getting to the line or none of that. Because, like, there was a couple of questionable calls. I agree with Grant Hill. The refs swallowed their whistles a lot in that game for it to be in Philly's building. Like, Trae got to the line on a lot of iffies, but the reason he got to the line on the iffies is because y'all kept letting him get in the lane. You got to keep him out of the lane.
Yeah, he's so little, and you bump him, he look like he about
to it looked worse than it is.
So what it is.
You have to make it your business to say he gonna have to shoot from out there. Like I said, I'm like you. We fighting them screens. Listen, you shade that side, I'm shading this side. He's not going toward the rim. He's not. We're gonna make you. It's gonna be like an umbrella defense.
Yes.
You got to make them shoot because they have no viable role option.
They made Clint Capella look like James Harden in the ball.
Exactly.
And the reason the Rockets, this is the thing that's funny to me. The reason the Rockets traded him because that's all he could do was dive and play defense.
There you go.
And he is doing the same exact thing there. And I'm looking at Thibodeau. You supposed to be this defense dude. Okay, listen. Why not trap this cat? Why not trap?
Right. Get the ball out of his hand.
Make Capella make plays.
Right.
That's not his game. That's not what he does.
I'm with you. We're on the same page.
But I don't get it. Like, okay, Trae. No, I'm not taking anything from Trae Young because he's proven me wrong. And so is Luka Doncic. Because when they both got traded for each other at that draft, I was like, well, one's slow and one too small, so it's not gonna matter. It's just a fair trade. It's gonna be bad for both teams. Both cats have proven they can play. But let's be real. Trae Young is a benefit of today's NBA because you can't touch him.
Right. You can't do anything to him.
And Luka Doncic is also. You can't touch these cats. So they come off these screens, and these teams are overreacting because what? He makes three. He makes 3 out of 13 30-footers, and you overreacting.
Yeah, because the Clippers did that a lot with Luka.
Yeah.
He hit that spell where he hit like 4 steps back and everybody lost their mind, bro. That's a bad shot.
It's a horrible shot.
It's a bad shot. If you make it, hey,
you tap him in, you dap him up, you say, bro, you want to keep making that shot. That's it. But I agree with you. When you fighting that screen to get over the top just to put pressure on him, you were helping him get down the lane for that floater. And he didn't invent the floater. I heard a guy say, man, he's made that floater unique, bro. I seen Rondo. I seen Iverson, D-Wade. I seen a lot of cats do that floater over the big dude. He invented the floater. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on Trae Young. And I'm with Bomani Jones. He's Trey DeBarge. And then Bomani showed his age, and I'm showing my age knowing who actually Bomani was talking about. But anyway, I got no problem with Trae Young.
Right.
For the Atlanta fans, look, bro is balling. What up, Smitty? The Atlanta fans, I got no problem with the dude. You guys are balling, but Philly playing you wrong.
Yeah.
I don't get it. It's being guarded by DeAndre Hunter from what I saw, and I'm still not figuring that one out yet. Ben Simmons,
you got to maul that dude. I'm sorry. I don't care what his defensive prowess is. You got to put some pressure on them officials. You have to.
He answered this question for me.
All right.
They got Gallinari, Bogdanovic, or Herter, Lou Will on the court at the same time, sometime with Trae Young.
You have no defenders and no paint protection.
Does that sound like a defensive unit to you?
No, I play that 5 out.
I mean, what
I would
the heck?
Play that 5 out.
What? In Atlanta's second unit is doing well. They did well against New York, but New York couldn't shoot. I tried to tell New York fans, you guys can't shoot. You guys can't shoot. It's a nice regular season, but you guys can't shoot. It's just that simple. So I get it. Now, this is the team they playing against. They got but one guy also. That's the third kid, and he can't play defense. And they hunt him. I saw that in the highlights. I said, "Oh, they hunting for him." Why isn't Philly hunting for Trey? Why are they not hunting for Bogdanovich? Because he can't play defense either.
Because they're not playing it smart, like I said. Okay, I'm telling you like this. You just gave that lineup, right? Nobody in that lineup is over 6'8". No. Joel Embiid is however tall he want to be right then, depending on how long he stretches his arms up. I'm playing that 5 out. When I say 5 out, Joel Embiid gonna hang out around the line. Ben, you're not even playing when that lineup on the court. Yes. You're not playing. No, you're not playing. I'm putting Joel Embiid and 4 shooters. Yeah. And we going to work. Throw the ball to Joel and watch the ball go. Yes. That's it. Yes. That's it. Ben, you come in when Trey come in. When Trey come in and they got what's your boy name? Capella on the floor. You can guard Capella. And we'll do it that way. Doc, listen, this is one of them situations. That's the one thing I will give Vogel credit for last year. Vogel understood results versus ego. It was some games last year that people that like Dwight didn't even play in the Houston series, period. Him, JaVale McGee, everybody that was big and slow. Listen, you're not playing this series. I don't care who you is. You're not playing. Doc is stubborn. Ben needs to be on the floor. No, he don't. No, he don't. Ben Simmons has not committed himself to having at least a 15-foot jump shot. Bro, you are Ben Simmons. Outside of LeBron James, you might have the most physically gifted body in the NBA. There's no reason why you can't make a 15-foot jump shot. I ain't saying you got to make threes. I don't need him to do that. Jason Kidd came from Cal and couldn't throw a rock in the ocean.
Couldn't, not even from the free throw line.
He learned how to shoot. That's why you got guys like Phil Handy and Tim Grover to get your body right and all this stuff. Yeah, they got your boy, Rico Hines out in Cali. Hey, you got to spend some of that money. Stop buying your little brother cars and stuff and go spend some money on getting you a shooting coach.
He don't even need a shooting coach in this series. He don't need a shooting coach because the Atlanta Hawks starting lineup is DeAndre Hunter, Clint Capella, and John Collins. John Collins is having a great season. Ben Simmons is bigger than John Collins.
That's my point. No, literally, that is my point. Right. Ben Simmons been in the league, what now? At least 5 years, right?
Maybe 6 years.
Okay, at least 5 years. There's no reason why at 5 years you haven't even developed a semblance of a jump shot, which puts your coaches, I don't care what they say about Brett Brown. Ben Simmons put Brett Brown in a bad position. Right. Because he had to decide what to do with this dude who's not putting in the work in the offseason. The front office is not making him accountable enough to say, hey, bro, hey, look, we can't keep blaming it on these coaches because you can't shoot. This is your fault. It's your fault that you can't shoot. There's nothing wrong with your body. And I'm assuming ain't nothing wrong with your brain because if Markelle Fultz could come out of whatever that was he was in and learn how to shoot again,
that's a good point.
You ain't physically got nothing wrong. Like he had like a shoulder and neck or something.
Yeah.
We gotta stop. We gotta stop letting him skip away from the fault of this because if he could shoot some, they would probably be unstoppable. But he can't shoot at all. Like he don't even try a shot. He be like, nah, I don't want that dog. Yeah. Defense is, you know what I mean? Like he made Joel Embiid job hard. That's why I would have traded for James Harden. I would have traded for James Harden. I would have threw Ben Simmons outside with no coat on. Here. Bye.
Could have went to Houston and threw up 30. He could have been Giannis. Wouldn't have won nothing, but he would have been Giannis because he'd have had triple-double numbers like it ain't crazy.
Right. So
I don't know, bro.
So you know what I mean? But what do you do? If you're a doc, what do you do?
You gotta sit him.
You have to.
You gotta play Tybal. I would have played Maxey because
thank you.
If you're not gonna play that screen to trap Trey and he's just gonna keep coming downhill and finding these cats in the corner to shoot wide open jump shots, then match them point for point. I'm like Steve Nash. I'm just gonna try to outscore you. I tell you what I would love to see. And I'm really rooting for Nate McMillan because I thought he got jobbed in Indiana. But I would love to see the Nets and the Hawks in the finals because I see 150 all day. Yes, we're talking about offense. None but 150 games. That is. And KD will be the difference because Atlanta has no answer. Atlanta has no answer for him. PJ Tucker, for as small as he is, for some odd reason, gets under KD's skin. I don't know if it's because that low center of gravity and he really can get under KD, but for some reason he really gets under KD's skin. But again, this is back to Giannis. I think it's the Greek in him. He don't have that competitive spirit that I would think a guy who is a one-time MVP would want. He should say, I want to play KD. I want KD.
Right. Every time.
Yeah. I want KD, especially when the money's on the line, the game's on the line. I want to play Kevin Durant. PJ Tucker's such a dog, and he's really darn near 6 inches shorter. He shouldn't be the guy that's playing KD.
I would agree. Agree. They should have had PJ Tucker on Blake Griffin.
Yeah, the Blake was because Blake. See, again, Giannis is a bully. I said this to somebody. When a guy matches him strength for strength, he cowers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Blake came at him. I was surprised.
Blake was like, "Look, I'm not as athletic, but I'm just as strong as you are. So you're not going to push me around." It's kind of the same thing with Giannis against Bam, although he got better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just when he goes up against guys that's as physically strong as he is, he doesn't that physically imposing stuff don't do it. Like when Shaq went against other big dudes, Shaq still put them in the basket.
Oh, he wanted to try to kill.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You don't see that. He don't. It's like when he get a guy that matches him, he like the bully. Okay, all right, you got me, dog. But when he got a little guy on him, he try to do his damage. So I don't know, but that's gonna be an interesting series. But I tell you what, Drew Holiday versus Kyrie is worth the price of admission.
Yeah, that was a good matchup yesterday.
That's a great matchup. Kyrie can dance with that ball, but
Drew gonna stay right there.
See, Drew is an old school defender. You can go east and west all day. I don't care. I ain't watching none of that. Try to get north and south.
Yeah. Kyrie a bad dude though, man. I saw Kyrie do a gather on a 4-on-1.
Yeah.
Pick the ball up, slice right through him, lay the ball up. He didn't even look at it go in. I was like, wow.
Kyrie is
That's a bad boy, man.
Kyrie is one of the best ball handlers in NBA history. He's not just the best in today's game. He's one of the best ball handlers in NBA history. And
I think finishing, man. Anybody 6'4" and under, he might be one of the best non-dunking finishers.
Oh yeah,
maybe ever. Like some of the shots he make, you'd be like, "Come on, dude, he really made that." And like he'd be looking really difficult, and he don't even look like he'd be impressed. Like I did that last week in the gym against my own.
Not really impressed at all. So let's see the West. We got Jazz, got the Clippers.
They got the Clippers, yeah.
And we got the
Phoenix got Denver.
Phoenix should win that series because Jamal Murray's not playing. But again, Jokic versus Ayton should be good, although Jokic should get the better on him because Ayton looks like Robert Parrish. I mean, for some reason.
I don't know, man. I kind of like what I see out of Ayton, man. Ayton got some dog in it, man. Like he don't back off.
Another moment.
No. Listen to me. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is I like the way that he plays. Like he don't play. He ain't impatient.
He's still a TFN.
He's still a TFN.
Yeah. All for nothing.
Hey man, he looked good in the Lakers series. I'm not playing. Like even when AD was playing. Even when AD was playing before he got hurt. And
Drummond's been eating too many fat burgers.
He ate Drummond for lunch. Like
Jokic go cook that boy. You know
so. Hey man, we're gonna see.
Now Booker gonna cook them. You know what I'm saying? So just which star gonna come out better because they don't have anybody that can guard Book. So
hey man, CP3 gonna be well. I'm pulling for Fittest. I want CP3 to get to the finals.
I don't never want that dude to win.
Usually I don't, but I really want him to at least get one trip. I want to get one shot at it. Now, if he don't close the deal, hey, at least you made it.
I don't like Chris Paul. I don't like Chris Paul.
Hey man, hey he got a squad full of dudes with no fear. That's what I like. That little dude, Mikal Bridges.
Yeah,
that boy, that's one of them Villanova boys. That young boy got some horse in him.
Yeah,
he was coming at LeBron like, hey, I don't care who you is. You a little wounded right now. We gonna go and put you out the passer. Go and get the shotgun. Load it up.
The Smitty thinks Chris Paul will be the difference. Yeah, if he's healthy or if he's injured. You're right. I agree with Smitty. If he's healthy or he's injured. Let's go with Smitty's neck of the woods with his Falcons. Your boy going to the Titans. How bad did they want to get rid of him that Arthur Smith trades him to his old team
for a 2 and a 5?
That's crazy, bro. I know he was hurt last year, but Julio Jones, when he's healthy, is very good. He is very good.
Hey man, that was a bad idea. I'm sorry. You gotta figure out a way to make that work. And if you don't, you got to get at least a 1 and a guy back. Like you can't get nobody back.
Right.
You gotta give me something else other than a 2 and a 5. Because think about it, if they really good, that 2 gonna be low. You're gonna be picking like number 50 for that 2. You know what I mean? Like you ain't getting no good draft pick out of that.
No,
you're not.
No, Smitty wants to win because I think he wants to vent. I think he wants to vent about this pick.
Hey man, let him in, man. Let him in. Come on in. Let him in.
I think I sent the link. He wants to vent about that trade. I don't blame him.
So it did go final because I saw it like earlier when I was at church. It beat my phone.
All I heard was for the next 24 to 48 hours. That's what's going on. But but right now, if Schefter reports it, that means it's pretty much.
Oh no, it's done.
Oh wow,
it's done. It went through,
bruh.
It went through about 12 o'clock.
I don't agree with that deal whatsoever. I just don't. That's crazy. A 2.
They got a two in this year's draft, a 4 in next year's draft, and and Atlanta had to send him a 6th-round pick in the 2023 draft.
What did D-Hop go for? What did D-Hop go for? For 1, right? No, Amari Cooper went for.
Nah, I think D-Hop went for more than that. Hold on, let me see.
Yeah, they got a 1, and Coop got a 1. Coop went for a 1 from the Raiders from the Raiders to the Cowboys, right?
Yeah, they got a 1. Yeah, they got actually they didn't get a 1 for D-Hop. They sent a 2nd-round pick, a 4th, and David Johnson. That might have been worse. I think that might have been worse. Because you got probably the best receiver in the league for a old running back, a 2nd-round pick in this draft that just passed, and a 4th-round pick. That don't really stack up too well. I think Tennessee actually made out better than they did.
Tremendous, bro. They got a guy that's a bona fide number 1 wide receiver to go outside, a guy who's really was playing the number 1 role for them last 2 years and didn't play it in a bad. I mean, he wasn't bad at it.
It's not AJ Brown.
Yeah, he wasn't bad at it. I mean, he put up decent numbers, and now you put that dude at the 2.
Hey, really, man, that's some big boys.
You're putting two really guys who are tight end built with speed against little corners with that monster running back.
Hey, that's gonna be a good matchup. That's gonna be a good matchup in Baltimore with them, with Marlon Humphrey and what's your boy name? Yeah, that's gonna be beautiful.
Man, the AFC is gonna be stupid.
Travis Henry, Derrick Henry still gonna be just smashing people.
The AFC will be stupid. When I tell you stupid, Kansas City can rebuild that offensive line all they want to. They better find a defense.
Hey, you got to bring it to get it. And people are sleeping on San Diego, man. But that dude, Justin Herbert got MVP wrote all over him.
He do, but the thing
they got to weaponize him though.
The thing with the Chargers, this is the only thing with the Chargers. They lost Ingram. He's gone. He's gone. So it's just Boza, and I think they got somebody else, and then you got Jeremy James should be coming back healthy this season. So they got playmakers out there. But man, they play Denver's gonna be better with Teddy. And that
Denver might have the best secondary in the league.
That's what I'm saying. And then you're looking at we don't know what's gonna happen with LA because we don't know what's gonna happen with Aaron Rodgers. But if I'm the
Raiders,
if I'm John Gruden,
I'm selling the whole house.
I make that trade tomorrow. I can have Derek Carr. You send me Aaron Rodgers.
I know.
Have Derek Carr tomorrow.
You can have Derek Carr, piece of the grass off the field. Anything else you want, you need my car, you can get that too. I buy a new one.
See, that's the only reason why I'm with the Chargers because Kansas City's in that division, the Raiders and the Broncos. So that's a beat up because they all got to play each other. So that's the thing when you play strong, when you're in a tough division, you all got to play each other. So you just beat each other up. That's why I think a team like but for the last couple of years, Kansas City got a break because the division wasn't strong. But look at your Patriots, prime example.
Oh man, they reloaded like.
And the division was so weak all them years.
Yeah, that they just ran through it.
Yeah, they got 6 games against teams that wasn't on their level. So 6-0 or 5-1 or whatever, and then you just gear up for the playoffs. So that's what I'm saying. It's going to be tough to see the Chargers coming out of there. But your Patriots, I thought they were going to get Julio. But
I really did. I thought Bill was going to pull the trade, but this is why I think Bill didn't do it. I think because of the success that Bill had with that ace formation before, plus he still got Josh McDaniels, and I think they probably kept a lot of them concepts, and they've been waiting to be able to break that package out again. And you know what I mean? They did okay. They went out and got Aguilar. They got people who could stretch the field to make them tight ends work in the middle. You know what I mean? So I think they want to see how that's going to work out without having to take on all that extra money. Because remember, Atlanta was like, we'll only trade him if you take on his whole salary.
Right.
So Bill was probably like, hey, look, I just spent $200 million in the offseason. I'm not trying to add another $26 million over the next 2 years. Let's wait and see how this work out first.
All right, Smitty, check your messenger. I really want to get your thoughts about this because I've heard I've only seen some tweets, and boy, Atlanta fans losing it. They ain't liking this deal at all, and I can't really blame them.
Hey man, but I mean, what was they really gonna do? I mean, if you Atlanta, man, it's time to just blow it up. There's no point in floundering in the middle. Nobody want to do that. Either you're gonna be good or you're not.
That's usually how the NFL has been. The NFL hasn't taken the NBA's approach of, you know what, I don't want to be in the middle. I want to get myself in the best position to get the highest draft picks that I can to get better players. That's never been the NFL's thing.
They need to recheck. They need to rethink that. Cleveland did it forever. They finally got it right.
Yeah, but look how long it takes. But then that's the
point.
That's a diehard fan base, bro.
That's the point, though. They took so long because they didn't want to just blow it up. You got to blow it up.
But that's a diehard fan base. They can do something like that. We're gonna welcome my boy Smitty Sports Machine. He is here.
Smitty?
Check him out on YouTube, man. He dropped them Falcons, anything Atlanta sports. He dropped it and he let it be known how he feels, and he represents hard. I follow him, I listen. Although I'm not an Atlanta sports fan, I like to watch his thoughts about all things Atlanta sports, and he even go into history. Got me thinking about, man, that dude played for Atlanta. But anyway, what's up, Smith?
What's up, man?
Man, ain't nothing, man. What you think? Your boy, y'all got fleeced, in my opinion. What you think?
Hey, man, you think I want to vent? I ain't gonna vent, man. I'm just, you know me, Will. You've been knowing me for a while, man. I'm a straight up guy, man.
Yeah.
I'm not mad. They did get fleeced a little bit, but at the same time, got to consider age, health, things of that nature. Yeah, you got to think it's post-draft trade. If they pull this trade off and take that $23 million loss, I think they probably could have got 2 first-round picks. But since teams know that they got to get rid of him and what he said and what he did, he hurt the Falcons' value. So and a lot of teams backed out because if you think about it, they probably would have had to cut him if they could not trade him before training camp.
True. So you could have just waited it out.
So, yeah, they just figured it out. And the reason why they got those picks were because they went to a team that respects Arthur Smith. So that's why they got what they got in return.
Good point. Okay. D, go ahead.
Nah, I agree with him. Because 9 out of 10, he's right. They probably would have had to cut him to keep from taking on the whole salary. You know what I mean? They were trying to save money. That was probably the biggest thing was once we find out he's not happy, and they probably looked at the books and were like, hey, we can either swallow the $23 million or we can figure out a way after June 1st to get rid of at least $19 million of this. That was the sticking point. Remember, that was the sticking point with Seattle. Seattle wanted to do the deal before June 1st, so they wouldn't have to take on the whole salary. They were like, nope, you're going to have to wait till after that because they were still going to incur cap penalties if they had to trade him before then. So I agree with Smitty. I think they went to somebody that was like, hey, you know what? We got history. We'll do this for you, but we ain't gonna give you the house. We'll give you a car and a truck, but that's it.
They didn't even give the car and the truck. They just gave
it. But you know,
it was time to move on though. It was.
I think Bill Belichick should have pulled that deal because you add Julio Jones on to what they've added this offseason, no matter who's the quarterback, you get either one of them guys the ball, it's gonna be hell on wheels.
Yeah.
You think about it, he actually would have had a better offense, probably I think, than Tampa Bay with those two tight ends. With Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith,
agree.
and you add Julio Jones, if they're working the middle of the field and Julio Jones on the outside, it's gonna be pick your poison all day.
I think that's why he didn't do it though, Smitty, because they signed that big kid from was it Detroit or somewhere. They got one real tall receiver that could run fast, and then they got Aguilar. I think he looked at it and said, "Okay, that's what I said. He spent enough money already. They spent what the record." It was like $200 million in 16 hours or something crazy like that. So Bill probably was like, "Hey, look, you know what I mean? My spending spree is pretty much over because you were gonna have to take that whole 19 million. I don't care how you slice it." Right. And there's not really anybody you were going to have that you could send back to Atlanta and say, hey, how can we help absorb some of this cost? To me, that's the biggest deal because if you look at it for the Patriots, even though they got a rookie quarterback and they got Stidham and they got Cam, they're going to have to sign somebody to a real quarterback contract in the next 2 years.
I think Matt Jones is going to take that job. That's why he was
I agree. But you know what I mean? Bill is always looking ahead, so I can guarantee you he's thought about that before they got to this point. Like, okay, what can we do now versus what can we do later?
I tell you what, he the guy Julio Jones, Matt Jones or Mac Jones, whatever his name is, he would have been the starting quarterback.
Oh, of course.
I think Matt Ryan could end up there next year.
Yeah, that's true.
Even though they have a rookie quarterback, Cam Newton, he's not guaranteed.
No,
I think they can end. I think he can end. Matt Ryan can end up there next year.
You don't think so?
Might be right. No. I'm not saying he might not end up there. I agree with what he said that Cam's not a guarantee. I'm interested to see what Cam does with a whole offense, like a real put together offense. Because what he had last year, nobody could blame Cam for what was going on last year. They didn't really have anything. Again, James White was out. You know what I mean? After his dad had the accident,
I give him 4 games.
You give Cam 4 games? With a fully stocked cover, you give him 4 games?
Because Cam's not accurate. Cam's never been accurate.
Think about it, and I agree with Will, and this is why I agree with him. How did they use Cam last year? Run pass option.
He ran a lot. He ran a lot of RPO.
He had more rushing touchdown than passing touchdown. That's not good.
I agree.
That's not good at all.
The only reason I said I would have gave him a mulligan on the year, one, he got there a little late. He did. 2, like I said, who was he throwing to? You can't really name me anybody because N'Keal Harry decided he just wanted to be big. He didn't want to really learn to play receiver. Julian Edelman was out for 8 weeks, and he had Damiere Byrd. Can either one of y'all tell me who Damiere Byrd is?
No.
Nope.
That's exactly my point.
They came out better kid, letting the water boy play wide receiver. That's
right. So I agree with you, Will. He's not overly accurate. And one thing that Josh McDaniels' offense does require is precision. But we haven't seen him really putting in position to where he's got a ton of short read, quick read, sight adjustment. So if we look at him, we're like, okay, after 2 weeks, we're like, nah, Cam ain't getting it. Then I'll agree with you. But I want to see what he does with a fully stocked cover first before I decide how I feel about it.
Now the Tampa dust rag him. He'll be on the bench.
Hey, if he does, man, they got 2 promising ones. You know what I mean? They got Stidham. Stidham looked okay at Auburn, and then Mac Jones looks all right. So
Stop it. Stidham.
I say we'll see. We'll see. I like what I saw from Mac Jones. Stidham, I went sold on Stidham at Oregon or at Auburn.
Matt Jones will be your starting quarterback when this year finishes. And
I'm good with that.
Jason Stidham will be doing what he did last year.
Holding the clipboard.
In street clothes, because he'll get the Anthony Davis name, street clothes, because he will be inactive.
Hey, Smitty, you like that name? Will said that was cold that Barkley called that man street clothes. I agree with Charles Barkley.
I mean, it is what it is. He tell it like it is. That's what I like about Chip.
Hey, man, I see him more in his varsity jacket than anything else.
It's not that man's fault that he has those injuries. It's just unfortunate. He's just one of those guys who he just has the injury play.
Why did the Lakers pay him all that money though?
Because
you knew that was a possibility.
I would thank you. Will just answered your question before I could, because LeBron told him to.
Yeah, that's why.
They didn't want to. Listen, LeBron is a smart dude, man. Think about it. When he was leaving Miami, he told him, "Hey, go draft Shabazz Napier." He knew he wasn't staying there, but it wasn't gonna benefit him. So, hey, I might not be here after a year or two, but if I leave, I don't need y'all to be so good where I can't go nowhere else and win. So I need y'all to tie up this money with AD. Come on now.
You know that I made a comment some weeks ago in regards to LeBron leaving and Dwayne Wade knowing. Well, I was reached out by someone who seems to know the situation and said, well, it was because Carmelo Anthony didn't want to come and all this other stuff. So I laughed and I said, well, let me give you some tidbit because I know just probably as much as you do, which means nothing. Carmelo Anthony was never coming to the Miami Heat ever.
I agree with that, though.
Ever. He was never coming to the Heat. He wanted to go to New York because that's where his wife wanted him to be. Happy wife, point blank, period. That's all that was. But anyway, Dwayne Wade, I was told Dwayne Wade knew nothing. I'm going to push back against that person and everybody else. You are crazy if you do not think two cats that vacation together don't talk shop.
Hey, man, I don't think he knew, though. I don't think he knew. I don't. This is the one time I really don't think he knew.
If you leave,
you mean to tell me if all three of us on vacation and a major network called one of us,
thank you,
part of our contract, and we have our way. If I tell them I'm not coming, or these two guys not coming with me, you think they're not gonna honor that?
I'm with you on that one, but see, they were already there. Like they were already there. I think his wife let the cat out of the bag, and they should have took the warning.
You need this stuff, and you don't tell me. And as tight as we are, bruh, you're not speaking again.
Say that's it. It's a wrap.
That's it. So you can't tell me D Wade watched championships walk out the door, and LeBron didn't give him no heads up. It's tight. You were not tight, and I know you would give me a heads up if you knew it was going to hurt me. Come on, bro. He told he knew Dwayne.
If he didn't give him a heads up, it would have been on the media. So Dwayne Wade would have went slap off because if I'm your boy, you gonna tell me whatever going on, no matter if you want to or not.
Exactly. I mean, if you're gonna hurt me and leave me, at least give me the decency of telling me to my face. I don't want to hear it through the media. And you can't tell me on a 4-hour plane ride and we chilling and
talk about it.
Make it simple
all week.
Make it simple. He wouldn't even went to Cleveland.
Exactly. That's the other part. Dwayne did go to
Dwayne Wade would have went to Cleveland. Good point. That's a good point.
I get it. People want to defend Dwayne, and this person claimed to be in the loop, and I laughed. I was like, "Look, bro, I don't care if you know Dwayne personally. Dwayne lied to you. He knew." I'm sorry. He knew. He knew he was in Cleveland, and that's why Pat Riley was mad at Dwayne.
I was just finna say that's why you think Pat Riley didn't want to pay D Wade. Hey man, you gonna do that? You gonna do that to me?
Right.
Wow. Hey
man, let me tell you something. Competitive people get petty. And Pat Riley was a petty dude. And you know what I'm saying? And he's competitive. He watched.
Hey man, Pat should have been mad, man. Pat helped you turn into a champion, and first time you lose bad. You know what I mean?
He was leaving before the end, though. His wife
said,
let the count back. He was leaving before the end.
Yeah, man. He had everything planned.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Go to Miami, win those rings, go back to Cleveland, try to win a ring. If I win a ring in Cleveland, I'm going straight out to LA, retire where I live in the off season. I'm gonna move into the movie business after my career is over, keep making money. So I'm gonna call that my home. My kids gonna grow up there. They gonna man. He's setting up.
He mapped it out well.
He mapped it out well, but he
mapped it out well, bro.
He made a mistake with the AD situation, and I'll tell you why. He handicapped the Lakers money wise with that max because AD has never been that healthy. See, this is the thing. This is what's funny about AD.
That's what I was saying earlier. Go ahead, though.
He was impatient.
But this is the thing that's funny about AD to me. AD, when he was in New Orleans, did you see New Orleans make a step towards any type of championship?
Nah, they made one decent run in the playoffs, and that because Rondo was there. As soon as Rondo left, it was over.
Let me reference that to something else.
All right.
Look at what Trae Young and Luka Doncic are doing.
Right.
They're doing that without an additional superstar on their team. These guys are doing it by themselves. When AD was by himself, the furthest he got was getting swept by the Warriors. Round. Trae Young could be on the verge of seriously pushing the Hawks to either the conference finals or the NBA finals. This is really by itself. Because as much as we like John Collins, we like Hurtle, we like Gallinari and Bogdanovich.
None of those are dudes you know.
And the thing about that's amazing for a point guard.
That's
he's
what
not a wing man. He's not a shooting guard. He's not a big man.
Yes, tiny. He looks like somebody you play with at home.
What they have him listed as height wise?
They said 6'1". I think he's about 5'10".
That man 5'10", 5'11", because I've seen him in person.
Yeah,
he's 5'10", 5'11". I'm telling you.
And he's little. He's not
tiny. He ain't got no weight on him.
I weigh more than he do. I'm 5'4", and I weigh more than he do.
He's about my weight. He's about 170, 175-ish somewhere.
I'm at about 165, and I'm thinking he's about right in that area.
That boy.
Yeah.
Right.
He's a little dude.
Wow. You know what? You're right about that, dude.
He needs some of them balloon anchors on his ankles to hold him down. That's why he floated so easily.
Hey, man.
But
I know what that do make sense, though. That really does make sense.
But
Trae look at it that way.
But what he's doing is, I'm just saying, when you got a guy, look at Dame. Dame is doing it by himself. Dame doing everything he can do it by himself. He's gonna have to team up with somebody. It's just
too deep. It's too deep for you to do it by yourself.
You can't do it by yourself.
But the difference is, and y'all gonna see it, it's the GM. He's putting everybody that Trae Young needs around him. What has he gotten in the last 2 years? Big swing man that can shoot the basketball.
Yeah.
If they can shoot the basketball, and what did that remind you of? Golden State Warriors 5
That's where he
years.
came from. That's where he came from. Yeah.
He's putting that same type blueprint with the Hawks, and it's working.
I'm gonna tell
all they have to do is follow through.
I'm gonna tell you, surprised me for that, and that's Bogdanovich. I'm shocked.
Not me. Not me.
I saw him in Sacramento. He didn't have this in his game, D.
He did, man. He did.
Think about this.
He really did.
Think about it. Luka Doncic, Bogdanovich, both of them been playing basketball with grown men since they were 16 years old. They played overseas against grown men 16 years
14.
old. So when they come in the league, they're already prepared.
I get what you're saying.
All they have to do is shine.
But what I'm saying is Sacramento chose Buddy Hield over him. That's my point.
Think about it though, Will.
Yeah, that means that they didn't get
pissed.
Go ahead.
That's because
they couldn't get that deal pulled off. You think they would have been that mad over a dude that everybody else thought couldn't play?
I didn't see this in this game though.
Maybe a lot of stuff in Sacramento. How many times you saw Sacramento on TV?
I saw Buddy Hield and De'Aaron Fox when I saw them play.
Yeah, but how many times did you see him on TV?
Okay, maybe once or twice.
Yep. All right. you picked the off night.
But a player has to get the minutes to develop his game. He's got the minutes in that, let him develop his game, and it's working just fine. And I guarantee you, Travis Link been watching that kid since he was in Golden State. He was probably waiting on him.
I know who really mad, and that's De'Aaron Fox.
Oh yeah.
Hey, he can't be too mad though. He got that bread, but they took his shooter from him.
They took another shooter. This is where the league is going. You know how much the floor will be open if the floor is open like that for Trae Young and Luka Doncic. And De'Aaron Fox is the fastest dude in the league with the basketball in his hand, next to John Wall. But think about it. Think about how much of a benefit that would be to De'Aaron Fox if he had that type of shooter still on his team. So I'll give
y'all one player that will complete the Hawks, and y'all might laugh. But what he does for his team, if I see that kind of production on the Hawks, and that's Malcolm Brogdon. This dude just goes out.
That wouldn't be funny. That would be real. That dude
just goes out and performs and do what they ask him to do. He don't try to be flashy. He plays defense. He can score when called upon. You add that to the Hawks' second unit, I don't see them losing. They would probably win 60 games.
That's not a laugher, man. The president is the real deal.
I don't want to see that then, because they in the same division as the Miami Heat, so I definitely don't want to see him on there. Not Malcolm Brogdon.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah,
because your boy got swept, man, and I'm just wondering, is Jimmy Butler going to implode again? Because it's looking like that.
Okay, here's the thing with
Jimmy. It's time for Jimmy to slide to number 3.
Yeah,
exactly.
But here's the thing with Jimmy. I don't think he would do Pat that way because he know Pat cutthroat. See, there's certain people in this life you can play with and you can mess with. You can let your a-hole show and you don't get no pushback. But when you run into somebody that's just a bigger a-hole as you are, it's not that's not something you do.
Pat Riley probably got ties to the mob.
I ain't saying all that.
Hey, man, Pat don't look like he played, bro.
And then Pat got that 6'10" monster over his shoulder too. That is just as crazy as Pat, and that's Alonzo Mourning. And then he's got UD that's got his back. So Pat's got monster that will put Jimmy in his place real quick if he get out of pocket with Jimmy. So I mean, if he get out of pocket with Pat, so no, he ain't gonna implode. I think he respects the Miami Heat organization. He's gonna respect everything in regards to that. You know, they're gonna do their best to build a winner, but they still got to have that conversation with him.
What's that one player they missing?
They need Bam to be what he's becoming. They need Bam to be the guy to say this is his team now, and they need Jimmy to be his backup or be his sidekick. Okay, we've seen what it is the other way around this year. But when Jimmy didn't play and Bam was the focus, Bam played well. See, Bam looks at Jimmy as a big brother, so he don't want to step on his toes. But he needs to step all on his foot, his ankle, his knees, his head, everything else. Because it's Bam's team now. And the player that they are missing is a dude, Sacramento, get rid of Peters. Give us Holmes. I'll take Holmes to play us besides Bam.
Oh, man, you stole my pick.
Hey, man, I hate to cut y'all off, man, but I got to run. Yeah. I got to go pick my daughter up, man, from work. So, anytime y'all alone, man, just let me know. I'll be happy to join there.
Oh, man, I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. But we are 20 minutes overdue because I got to go to sleep because I got to work tonight. But I appreciate you guys coming on talking sports with me. Thank you guys so much, everybody out there.
No problem, man. Anytime.
Hey, say a prayer for somebody because prayer changes things. D, appreciate your time, man. Y'all boys be easy. Thank you.
Man, y'all have a good week.
Yes, sir.
All right.